I'm going to go ahead and share. Wait a minute. Share the screen here. Let me see here. All right. Here we go. All right, guys, thank you all so much for getting on tonight on our nice little weekly team call. We do have a special guest tonight, and he is going to, I guess I shouldn't say he, Brad. Brad, is it Bizjack? Bizjack?
Bizjack, yeah.
Perfect. All right. Brad is going to be talking to us today about failures, importance of constant recruiting, and excuses. These are like some of my favorite things to talk about. So he is going to share a little bit of his knowledge with us and motivate you guys all to continue growing on your fitness journey, or on your fitness journey, on your coaching journey and fitness journey. I guess you could do both. So Brad is a combined 4-star diamond, 3 lifetimes, correct? Now I lost you. I can't see you. Where'd it go?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, hold on. I need to, if you guys can just mute yourselves, that way we don't have a lot of background noise, that would be awesome. Okay. And I don't know if you guys noticed Brad, but he is actually in the 21 Day Fix and Insanity infomercials. He goes up on stage with them, Autumn, for her workouts. So he's kind of like famous, I mean, he's famous. I mean, look at that. So, and he was actually able to leave his full-time job in 9 months into coaching. So he is very successful, and he's not a part of the Dream Team. So I'm really excited that he's going to share a little bit of himself to us, you know, not from being on the same team. So before he gets started, I'm just going to go ahead through our shout outs and little things that I want to say here real quick, upcoming trainings and stuff we have going on. So first I'm going to do our shout outs. We have our Success Club. We have a lot of people at SC 5 and 10 already, so I'm really, really excited for you guys. We have Stephanie Keller at 18, Regan Long at 17, Melissa Chavez at 16, Brian Schaefer at 15, Lauren Penrose at 11, Kayla Mays at 10, Cheyenne Barton at 10, and Sarah Griffith at 10. And we caught that a little bit earlier, so I didn't get to put her name on there. So we have Megan Blinka at 9, Teresa McGill at 8, Vanessa McLaughlin at 8, Michelle Krill at 8, Briar Willis at 7, Kelly Doherty at 6, Rebecca Masтерone at 6, Natasha George at 6, Jessie Valentine at 6, Jen Franklin at 6, Beth Bird at 6, Erin Trail at 6, Sarah's at 10, never mind, Joy Smith at 6, Angela Kalp at 6, Tabitha Smithers at 6, Megan D. Mariano at 6, Maya Miller at 6, Terry Long at 6, Jalissa Libarger at 6, Nicole Stevens at 5, and Samantha Malik at 5. And there is a whole ton of people that are already at 4, 3, 2, and 1. And guys, this is what, the 22nd? Yeah, 22nd of the month, which means we still do have time. I mean, we have over a week, and anything can be done, even in a day, if you put your mind to it and put in the work and effort. So, congratulations to everyone already on the leaderboard. Can you guys make sure you mute yourselves if you're not muted? I'm trying to look for you, but I don't see who it is. Thank you. Awesome. All right, now we have some shout outs for our top producers and new rank advancements on the team. We have Michael Gowan at the very top of the top producers, at 465. We have Megan Blinka at 435, Jody DeLazier at 405, Sarah Griffith at 360, Janine Pedlinski at 330, and Cheryl Isola at 300. And then we have our newest rank advancements. We have Kyle Blinka and Mesha Brink at Ruby, and our newest emeralds, Michelle Murdoch, Jamie Macon, Rebecca Masтерone, Maureen Hope, and Colleen Hook. Congrats, guys. You are going right in the direction that you need to for success. So excited for you guys. All right, and just a little note on Success Club. Success Club 5, something we make non-negotiable. If you're a new coach here, into this business, Success Club 5 is helping 3 people. This is getting started on your journey and helping 3 people along, getting them to get a challenge pack, which includes everything you need. You get your shakes, you get your fitness program, and then you get the support and the access to the challenge groups. That's always what I tell people. So help 3 people get Success Club 5, especially in your first 3 months of your business, so you can get that free ticket to our biggest training at Coach Summit. All right, our October promos, we have a little bit left for these. So if you are not sure, 21-day fix challenge pack includes the insulated, swear I haven't had a lot of drink, insulated 21-day fix bag, the 21-day fix extreme challenge pack, Body Beast challenge pack plus Beachbody performance samples. In the US only, that's all $140. So you're saving, well, you're really saving $70. And then for $164, you get the Body Beast Challenge Pack with a free deluxe workout video, and that's Canada only. And then the $180 challenge packs, you get 21-day fix kickstart and the 21-day fix extreme kickstart. And that includes a 3-day refresh with that challenge pack. And anyone who hits Success Club 5 this month will get a personal development webcast with Darren Hardy, who also wrote The Compound Effect. He is absolutely amazing and inspiring. He was at our summit last year and spoke for us. He was one of our keynote speakers. And then the top 20 diamond coaches who get the highest SC points gets a one-on-one mentoring call with Carl Deichler, our CEO, which is really, really awesome. So guys, definitely shoot for some big goals. There's a lot going on. There's still a lot of time left and tons of people out there who need our help. All right, taking advantage of our opportunities. Every Thursday, we have these calls. All right, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Be sure that you are jumping on so you can hear from other top coaches in the company and, just get a little training tip here and there to help you grow your business, get more comfortable and confident in what you're doing as a coach and leader. Also, we have the Dream Team calls every Monday at 9 p.m. I do post all the recordings in the team page, or the team website, I should say. And then Mondays are our National Wake Up calls. Recordings are always in the online office, and you can also get them on podcast, and I also put them in our team website as well. All right, and then we have our November Fall Classic. If you guys have not registered yet, please make sure you do. Groups of 3, all right? You can only have 1 diamond max per team, but you do not have to have a diamond on your team. So anyone, whether you're just starting your business, you're wanting to learn more about the business, get out of your comfort zone with getting new customers and challengers on board, this is your chance to get uncomfortable to get comfortable, okay? So make sure that you guys sign up, talk amongst each other. If you need help finding a team, post in the team page and we will help you find somebody. All right, and then our upcoming groups and trainings we have on Monday starting is our 5-day sneak peek into coaching. So make sure that you talk to everyone about this. I did a post on my personally sponsored page that start promoting the business opportunity. Do a picture of yourself, do a little quote with it, do a nice post that you're looking for people to join your team. And this is an opportunity to have a chance to get 5 days of information of what we do as coaches and to see if this is something that would fit their lifestyle. They'll get daily videos and posts, just 1 a day. And this is a great opportunity for people just to see what's involved before getting started. And also on Monday, we are going to do a 10-day push to Emerald. I know there's a lot of coaches who may have gone through the Coach Basics already or who missed the Coach Basics because they signed up a little bit after. So this is going to be a quicker version of the Coach Basics. It's going to be a great push to give you everything that you need to rank advance to Emerald and start growing your business. All right. But in order to get into this group, you must have a goal of advancing and committing to push to rank advance to Emerald within that 10 days from the start date. So if you are interested in that, please message your upline coach or myself or post in the team page and let us know. All right, cool. Now I am done with that. Does anyone have any questions? Perfect. All right, we are going to go ahead and unmute Brad. There you go. And I'm actually going to go ahead and let you talk. You good?
Ooh, that sounds good. Have you guys hopped on just recently? Does everyone have their wine? I have a tradition of doing wine on every team call that I speak for. So if you don't have wine, grab a glass of wine. We're gonna have some fun. So seriously, thank you very much. And guys, if you're brand new to your team and you're not too familiar with how things are going, I do want to just take a second and from someone that's outside of the whole dream team downline and stuff, you guys are lucky that you have the leader that you do. Seriously, she is absolutely amazing. She spoke on our team call last night and just rocked the house with talk on challenge groups and time management. And I just want you guys to know how much she really pours herself into wanting to help you succeed. That's her number one goal. And so if you're a brand new coach, just know that you're joining one of the most successful organizations in Beachbody, and it really is a privilege to be on this call. And thank you very much for inviting me. And I'm pumped to talk to you guys tonight and help out in any way that I can. So hopefully you find this valuable and take some inspiration and knowledge to help move your business forward. So I'm going to kind of dive right in. And new coaches, I am very high energy. I don't know if you guys know the personality types, but I am a sapphire personality to the max. I'm the party guy. I have some fun. I do get a little passionate on these calls. It's not uncommon for me to kind of get choked up as I'm talking because I do get that passionate about it. So I'm going to go fast, and don't worry about writing just crazy amounts of notes. I just want to encourage you to take kind of an introspective look into your business today as we do this. So let's get started. So I really do appreciate the introduction, and it's really nice of you to go through those things and kind of share accolades and what I've accomplished over the last couple of years. But I want to start off by talking about how none of those things that she just said reflect any of the failure whatsoever that I've gone through to get there. And I remember when I was a brand new coach and I would see all these top leaders in their business, being recognized for all these different things. And I was like, holy cow, that's insane. How do they do that? And over the course of time, as I grew my business, I started to realize exactly what they were going through that holds a lot of people back. So the only reason why your coach is where she is, why I am where I am, why Melanie is where she is, or Lindsay Matway, or Nikki, or any of these people are where they are, is because they've probably failed the most at what they do. Your upline is the biggest failure on your team. And I want you to just think about that. She's just failed more. They're professional failures. So the only reason why you ever see any top coach where they are is because they've accepted failure as the way to get to their goals. And without failing so many times, there's no way they could be where they are. And if you're afraid of that, you have to dive into personal development right away. Get your mind wrapped around this stuff. There's a reason every top coach recommends it. And they're not just saying it. If you want what successful people have, do what successful people recommend to do. You got to go all the way in with that stuff to beat that fear of failure. And I'm going to go through a couple of those today. But first, to kind of bring me back down and make me a little bit more relatable maybe to what a new coach is going through, I want to share some of the failures and get really real and vulnerable with you about what the last 26 months have entailed and how failing is really the only way that you can achieve success in this business. And you have to be willing to get out of your comfort zone in that sense. So let me pull up a list here. I actually wrote out a list for this call. So my first 3.5 months, don't tell my coach this, I had to call in favors to hit Success Club. There were a lot of weeks where I would sign up a couple of coaches, and the following week they would return their orders and quit. When I started, there were Facebook groups started to make fun of me, and I was defriended by 400 people within the first 3 months of coaching because I didn't know how to use social media the right way. I struggle with compulsive overeating, so following a workout program is very, very challenging. I'm self-diagnosis. I think I'm addicted to cheese, and I just want to call that out. So actually following one of these meal plans is very tough. I used to let Beachbody come in the way of my relationship with Janice, my girlfriend of a very long time, and she kind of resented my work for a while. I struggle with time management, and it's one of my skill sets that I'm trying to improve and gotten better on, but still failing with. My first 6 months, where's my list? My first 6 months, I didn't know how to run a challenge group. And it was one of those things where you want to start this challenge group and you're all gung-ho and excited, and it's literally you participating, and that is it. That was me for my first 6 months of coaching. There was one time where I advertised a fit club to over 500 people for 6 weeks in a row, and the most people that showed up were 4. And most of the time it was 1, and that was Janice because I made her go. There was a 3-week period of time where I sent out over 100 Facebook messages, and I received 10 responses total, and most of those responses were, I don't want to talk to you. It took me well over a year to figure out how to start off a coach the right way, and I'm still trying to tweak that and improve it. Last month, I had 4 personally sponsored coaches quit on my team. And she mentioned when she introduced me that I quit my job 9 months into coaching. But what is not said about that, I actually gave her that statistic for a reason, because at that time I relied solely on retail. I did not have a significant business, and I quit my job well before I had an established team. I was just selling challenge pack after challenge pack after challenge pack and getting recognized for that, and it kind of boosted the ego, but I didn't have a reliable business. And when I got back from Summit 2 years ago, 2 more. When I got back from Summit 2 years ago, a couple of the leaders, the diamond coaches on our team, told me that they completely disliked the team environment that we had, didn't feel a sense of culture, and some of those diamond coaches quit and have never come back. And my biggest failure of all time in this business was my mentality of how I should work with my coaches. And that's kind of what I want to talk to you guys about tonight. Do you think it's your job to make your coaches successful? The idea of constant recruitment. And that's the topic for a reason, because it's my biggest failure. And we'll talk about that in a second, but all that stuff sounded pretty brutal, right? It sounded pretty brutal that I didn't actually start building a legitimate business until about 8-9 months ago. And that's pretty hard for me to say, because I've gotten recognized for so many things that seem and are perceived as fantastic over the last 2.5 years. And that's why you can never compare your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel, right? You never know what they're actually going through. You got to do you. And you cannot succeed without failing. Failure is an opportunity to start again more intelligently. It's literally the way that you figure out what works faster. That's what it is. Because if you're not willing to fail, you are not willing to build this business. That's a fact. It's the best thing that can happen to you. It is the only way that you can learn and grow. Your teammates, your leaders, any diamond coach, star diamond coach, double 15-star diamond coach fails. They fail all the time. And so I wish I had time to go through finding your purpose and your real, deep, passionate why tonight. Not the BS one that we like to tell our coach when we first sign up, yeah, I want to do this, this, and this. No, the real one. And if I had more time tonight, I really would. But the point is, when you find that real, deep, passionate, emotional, vulnerable reason why you are on this call right now instead of watching Netflix, then you will want to implement and apply the skill sets that you'll be taught tonight, and you won't lose motivation. How many of you guys have ever gone 3 weeks strong and then kind of lost motivation and dwindled off? And then gone 3 weeks strong again and then lost motivation and dwindled off? I used to be guilty of that. When you have a deep enough purpose, taking action becomes second nature. That's a great quote by PJ McClure that I want you guys to write down. When your purpose is deep enough, taking action becomes second nature. There's a metaphor that I really want you to hear that I read in the book. Do I have it here? Yeah. This book. This is what single-handedly helped me really define my purpose. Flip the Switch by PJ McClure. And you'll have the recording so you can go back and see what the book is titled. But anyways, there's this metaphor. And he talks about a compass, and you're sailing, right? The metaphor is you're sailing a boat and you have a compass. That compass is your internal guide, your purpose, the reason you're doing this. You're trying to get to this point, right? And when a storm comes, which it will, and like especially right now, October, November, when things are tough, and you might feel that sense of it's a little bit tougher than normal to hit Success Club. When that storm comes, which it always does, and there's waves 50 feet high in every direction, and there's clouds overhead and you can't see where the North Star is, you still have that compass to guide you, right? you still have that compass to guide you. So you can still steer the boat and go in the direction you want to go, regardless of if you can see around you, right? And when the storm subsides, which it always does, you are still on course and further along in that journey. In the meantime, all those people that set out without that compass or their definite inner purpose are crashing against the rocks, or they're scrambling in a panic, trying to figure out where the heck they are. So I wish Lindsay Matway has a recorded call on the Bombshell Dynasty, her Bombshell page, of a call I did on defining your purpose. Go and listen to that, and it will help you give some tools to actually define your purpose. And I wish I had time to go through it tonight, but that doesn't matter. The question is, do you know yours? That's what I want to ask you, because if you're having trouble right now, you got to find your purpose. You have to find the reason you're here. Work with your coach, but don't do what I did for almost 2 years and avoid getting emotional with yourself. And think about, why don't people do it? Because it takes time. I have this really big fear of being average, in my life. And I didn't want to face that fear and find my deep purpose. And it takes going places that most people will refuse to go. It takes going places that most people want to block out of their life. Most people don't do it, and it's non-conforming. But think about this. Are most people successful? Are most Beachbody coaches successful? No, they're not. So if you want to feel and be successful, don't do what a lot of coaches do, and avoid finding their true purpose. Find it, and it's scary. And I remember having those exact same feelings where I was terrified, and I didn't know how sharing this stuff would go, getting vulnerable about those failures would go. But fear is that thing that stops us from pursuing our dreams, right? It's that thing that makes us think twice before we even consider trying. So write this down. And my success partner, Colleen Curtis, formerly Colleen Eddy, I don't know if you guys follow her, says this all the time. Everything you ever want in life is always on the other side of fear. I think Jack Canfield, the writer of the Success Principles, talked about that originally. And it's the only thing that stops you. It's just fear. So I challenge you right now, before I get into the main topic, to attack this business in a different way than normal. Successful people are always optimistic regardless of the circumstance. So instead of asking yourself, what if I fail? Because trust me, guys, you will fail at this business more than you've probably ever failed at anything in your entire life, most likely. And you have to accept that right now. Instead of that, ask yourself, what if I succeed? What if my purpose is fulfilled? What if I can retire my husband? What if I can travel without having to worry? What if I can change the lives of literally thousands of people? What if I can take my kids to Disney World and take them on the Dumbo ride and not have to worry about going into credit card debt and see the smile on their face? What if I can give my kids the college tuition education that I really want to give them? What if I succeed? That's your new mentality. There's a reason why the majority of people won't even consider doing what we do, and it's because they're afraid. You're not most people. You are special, and you are enough right now to make it happen. You're a freaking Beachbody coach that's going to change the lives of so many people, and take pride in the fact that you're weird. You're different. You're really weird. There's so much social identity right behind what we do. I'm a school teacher. I'm a nurse. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm a fireman. I'm an engineer. And we say those things with pride, and they're amazing things. And very valuable careers in this society. And we say those things with pride because it's what most people do. But when it comes time to stand up and say, I am a Beachbody coach, and I want to help you change your life, people cower and hide like that's a bad thing. Please accept leaving this call that helping people is really freaking cool. Helping people is really cool. And that inner strength to say that is stronger than 98% of people out there. And that's why you're here right now on this call instead of watching the Nashville episode that just came out. I actually like that show. You're here. You want this, right? You joined an industry that's going to be the cause of a lot of envy. Embrace that, because whatever adversity you're facing in your life, that's what you lead with. That's your advantage. Use that to drive you, and trust that the inner strength to say that is stronger than any excuse you could make. So anyways, got that point across. Now we know the purpose of talking about failures, how they're actually a good thing. So let's integrate that into skill sets in there that I failed with to implement when I started as a new coach, and frankly, for the first couple of years of my coaching career. So how many of you guys have ever signed up a coach and gotten really excited because they're all on board and they're gung-ho about this, and then they do nothing? Anyone? Oh, me too. Not fun. How many of you guys have ever signed up a coach and wondered, I am pouring my heart and soul into this person. Why aren't they doing anything? I'm giving them everything I got. Anyone? I'm guilty. Or you maybe feel like you're pushing your rope. Or here's a good one. If I could just find a better YouTube video or training system, if I could convince Caleb Thomas to make another one and send it to this coach, they would understand and they would just be an absolute rock star if they would just get this point a little bit better. And I want to be the first to tell you that if that is your mindset, you are wasting your freaking time. You are wasting your time. And I know this from experience because I've been in this business for 27 months, and the first 20, I was doing that. And what did I find? I was not duplicating. I found myself in these circles of all these successful people that had huge businesses, and I was just known as the guy that was on stage with Autumn, and all their businesses were huge, and I couldn't provide this life of my dreams for Janice at the time because I was building basically a fake business because I was trying to pull everybody and make them successful. I wasn't duplicating. I was relying on retail sales to build and my volume didn't grow. So I want you guys to know something. Write this down. It is not your job to babysit your team. It is not your job to babysit your team. It is your job to find prospective talent and people that want to change their life and give them an opportunity by plugging them into a duplicatable system, which you clearly already have. Your Coach Basics, your Emerald Diamond, your 10-day push groups, your 5-day open houses, and be a mentor. Offer them shortcuts and tips and your experience along the way. There might be some coaches on this call thinking that it's teacher's job to do that for you. It is not. It is not. It is your job. And what I used to do is go in spurts. I would recruit like crazy for, a month or two. And I'd bring in a bunch of partners and I'd work really, really hard on trying to get them going. And then I'd spend a couple of months trying to mobilize them and creating better systems. And I was convincing them to do this. And I want to use that keyword convince. So if you're finding that in any way, shape, or form, you're finding that you're convincing your coaches to do this, something is going wrong. Chances are your time is being spent incorrectly. You should never have to convince someone to do this. You're wasting your time. I used to chase people down and be like, just please try this Coach Basics group. I know that if you go through and you learn this stuff, it'll really help your business grow. And I saw the promise of this business, right? I saw what it was doing for the top coaches, and I knew it would help them. So I wanted them to do this because I knew it would change their life. And I would try to chase them down. It'll really, really help you, right? And I used to spend my time getting people to say, okay, and convincing them to do it. And then I'd start my Coach Basics group, or Jumpstart training, and it would be like crickets in there. And I remember when I was a brand new coach, my coach, Jessie Vanderberg, she's a 3-time elite coach, amazing person. Follow her if you don't. Amazing mom too. She told me this when I was a brand new coach, and I was so confused because I had only 2 to 3 coaches on my team at the time, and I just wanted them to succeed so incredibly badly, and it was like slim pickings, right? I had like a discount coach on my left and someone on my right, and then Janice, I signed her up because that's what got me Emerald, and I wish I would have listened to her because my team would be exponentially bigger than it is right now if I didn't make that mistake for 2 years. And that's exactly why my team is a fraction of the size that I wish it was. I screwed up, but I stayed consistent in the game because my purpose was deep enough. And finally, I realized this, and my business started duplicating. It really started duplicating. So it's not your job to get your team to do something. It is your job to go out there and recruit like freaking crazy and give your people the opportunity to be successful. So here are some tips that I want to throw out there on the importance of constant recruitment. So when you're a new coach, the how-tos still matter, but they don't matter nearly as much as the purpose. When you find the purpose, you find the fire. Sorry if you hear the train horn in the background. That happens like every 2 hours. It's so freaking annoying. When you find the purpose, you find the fire. And when you find that fire, that's what puts something in someone's heart and keeps them going no matter what obstacle they face. That fear of failure is trumped by the purpose to make this work. So the how-tos don't matter as much as the purpose. They still matter, but not as much as the deep purpose. Number 2, don't enable your teammates. Don't spoon feed your teammates. It's very, very easy just to give people the answers. Trust me, I used to do this, and I just wanted them to succeed so badly, right? But when it came time for them to break free of the nest and to start leading themselves, they weren't empowered to lead themselves. They needed me to lead their team. They didn't feel that they could do it. So what I do now is I'll point them to the FAQ. I'll point them to a YouTube video that might help them. I'll point them to Google or the team page. Chances are Scotty Hobbs has made a video on it, right? So I send them a video that Scotty might have done. I point them to, your team page, right? Think about how much faster that would grow if all your teammates were collaborating, working together to find the answer, instead of you just working one-on-one with every single person all the time. Empower them to become independent, and then I have them come to me. I want them to know that I still support them and I believe in them unconditionally, and I'm there to help them. But you giving them all the answers is actually not helping them. It is hurting them. It is not helping them to become resourceful. Okay? So that's number 2. Don't enable your team. Encourage them to become independent. Number 3, at the end of the day, this is a numbers game. And guess what? And this is really hard for new coaches to understand. 10%, 1 out of 10 of the business partners, not discount coaches, 1 out of 10 of the business partners that you decide to sign up are going to do something big with this business. So, would you rather recruit 10 people and settle trying to motivate all of them and get them to get up and move? Or would you understand that just 1 out of 10 of them is actually going to get off their butt and do something? And guess what? When you find that 1 out of 10, you will not feel that pressure of having to convince them. They're just going to do it. Your leader is an example of that. I can guarantee you that Melanie did not have to, she might have had to work with her to get her started, but I can guarantee you that when she saw the opportunity, she did not need to be pulled by Melanie to do this. I can guarantee you that Val and Katie did not have to be convinced every single day to do this. They just did it. They were that one, those 3 were that 1 out of 10. And I can guarantee you that, like Lindsay Matway never had to convince Bonnie Engel to do this, right? She was that 1 out of 10. So would you rather spend your time trying to get everyone to do something, or just keep recruiting until you find that 1 out of 10 that will? Number 4, you need a system. Stop trying to make people successful. Give people the opportunity to be successful by plugging them into a system. And the best part is that you have one of the most efficient leader-producing systems in all of Beachbody. Give them an opportunity to participate in that system, because it does not matter what works in this business. It matters what duplicates. People are not duplicatable, but systems are. So when you can duplicate your system, your team will grow exponentially instead of just by addition, one by one. Okay. Number 5, lead by example. And this is where I'm going to start to turn up the heat a little bit. And I hope I can finish on time, but I get really passionate and tend to ramble. So just cut me off if I'm going too long. So lead by example. This is where I'm going to kind of turn up the heat a little bit and call some people out. First, the important things. Grab a glass of wine, take a sip. Here we go. Lead by example. If you are not in Success Club, this business will not grow into something amazing. Period. Let's leave it at that. If you are not willing to be in Success Club, your business will not grow into something amazing. If you want your team to recruit and bring in coaches, you'd better be bringing in coaches. If you want your team to hit Success Club, you'd better be hitting Success Club. And if you're not in Success Club, it is not a matter – sorry, I'm not trying to offend anyone. It is not a matter of your monthly circumstance. It's not a matter of how many kids you have, or if Johnny has soccer practice, or if you had to take out the trash, or if Game of Thrones was on. It is not a matter of your monthly circumstance. It's because you didn't do what it takes to hit Success Club. That's the reason you are not in Success Club. It's because you're living out of fear and you're telling yourself a lie of some great reason why you can't do it. And that's the reason you're not there. At Leadership last year, I sat down with Chris Reed, and I was struggling at the time. This is before I really started duplicating, and I asked him, Chris, can you help me with this? And he said, Brad, that the key to this business growing, besides your own personal growth, is very simple. Find more people. Find more people. The key to this business growing, the key to Success Club, the key to duplication, the key to more diamonds on your team, go find more people. More people get you Success Club. More people means more impact. More people means more better chance of someone doing something, right? So think of Success Club like the CEO of a multinational corporation, okay, like a traditional corporation, like let's say Walmart. And Walmart's mission, which it's not, is to help people lead happier, healthier, more fulfilling lives. But let's just say that's Walmart's mission statement. And you're the CEO of Walmart and you walk into a board meeting on Monday morning and your numbers are stagnant or they're going down. Is that okay that you're just trying to help people, or will you understand that you won't even have a company to help people with if you don't hit those numbers? And guess what? Success level 5 is the bare minimum of breaking even. Bare minimum. So if you really want this to grow, you need to be leading by example. You cannot expect your coaches to do anything that you aren't doing. So if you are not following your workouts, drinking, did you guys listen to Danielle Montoni this Monday? That was a powerful call. Seriously, if you aren't following your workouts, drinking your Shakeology, and being proof the products work with the nutrition plan, your coaches won't. Think about this. You doing the workouts and drinking Shakeology and the nutrition plan to get results is not just for your own health. You are literally making a conscious business decision to not grow your business if you don't do them. Because what happens what helps someone come on board? When they see you start out with a struggle, go through that struggle, overcome that struggle, and this is where I am now. Would you like to join me? That's what helps someone come on board, right? Seeing you being empowered to overcome that and inspiring other people. But if you're not overcoming that struggle, why would they think you're credible? So it's a business decision to do your workouts and drink your shake, not just for your own personal health. It is for that, but it's also for your business. And lastly is if you're making BS excuses with your personal growth, your coaches are going to make BS excuses with your personal growth. You're never going to find one successful coach in this company that does not attribute their success to them growing as a person. Think about it. If you're not growing, how can you inspire other people to become better? You can't. There's a reason why top coaches recommend that. It's not because they're just blowing smoke. It's because they're telling you because they want you to become successful. If you become successful, they become successful, right? They're giving you the tips to become successful, okay? So that's number 5, leading by example. Number 6, removing the emotional attachment from the outcome of what a new coach does. Because guess what, guys? I learned this the hard way. Some people are going to come in, they're going to go super strong, they're going to have 10 people, and then, they're going to have to remodel the home and they can't do it anymore. Some people are going to hit diamond and then they're going to slow down. Some people are going to say they want this and then they're going to have to take out the trash, right? They're going to make excuses. If people want this to work, they will just make it happen. They're just going to do it. So the point is, if you want this to work, just understand that you can say when a new coach does whatever they do, say, isn't that interesting? And if they don't do this, when your coaches start to find blame or are throwing this at other people, like something's going wrong, when you remove that emotional attachment, that doesn't bother you and it doesn't weigh you down. Instead of trying to convince that person to stay, you can keep your focus on recruiting so you can find people that will. Okay. Number 7, working with the willing. I'm sure you heard of the Pareto principle, right? 20% of the people do 80% of the work. I can guarantee you that Deidre's got a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet or something, and she knows exactly, she might not be a spreadsheet person. I don't know, maybe she is. But anyways, she knows who her top 20% are, bringing in 80% of the volume. And she pours her heart and soul into those top 20%. And the other 80% she works with in a group, right? She works within a group. And the reason for that is because you need to focus on the top 20%. And how do you find the top 20%? I'm going to give you an example from Jim Rohn's Building Your Network Marketing Business. If you guys can't tell here, a lot of the stuff that I'm saying is literally just personal development spewing out of my mouth. So Jim Rohn's Building Your Network Marketing Business. It's an audio. I think it's like $4 or $3 on iTunes. I've listened to it probably 60 times, and every time I get something new out of it. So definitely get it. He talks about the law of reaping and sowing. And he talks about how you're a farmer, right? And you're an ambitious farmer. And you have this giant field that you're trying to plant these seeds in. And the seed is perfect, right? It's our world-class business and world-class products. And there's nothing wrong with the seed. And you're ambitious and you want this to work. You want to yield a great harvest. So you go out there and you start sowing the seed, right? And you're planting the seeds. And sometimes when you're bringing your little trolley full of seeds around, some of that seed falls to the side. And the birds come down and get it, and they fly away with the seed. And those are your people that you talk to about your 5-day sneak peek, you plugged them into, and then they never talk to you again. If you've ever had those people, those are your birds. As someone said to them, oh, you're not doing network marketing, are you? You're not doing one of those pyramid schemes. And what you can do is either chase the birds or you can keep sowing the seed. Because what happens if you chase the birds? You leave the field. You stop planting seeds if you leave the field. And then you're going to sow the seeds and it's going to land on rocky ground where the soil's shallow and the sun's going to fry that crop to death. And those are your people that last a week, that are in this, and then they realize that it's actually hard. It's actually a challenge to do this. And the first hot day, they're gone. And you can either ask why or keep sowing the seed. And then it's going to land on thorny ground where it's going to come up and the thorns of different plants are going to strangle it to death. And those are your people that had to take out the trash. Those are your people watching Nashville or Game of Thrones or The Walking Dead right now that weren't on this call. The thorns got them and they're strangling them, and those are your excuse makers. And you can either ask why and try to convince them to stay, or you can keep sowing the seed, right? And then finally it's going to land on fertile soil. And some of that seed is going to do 30% of its potential. Some of it's going to do 60% of its potential. And some of it, a very small amount, is going to do 100% of its potential. And we can either ask why that is and try to convince the 30s to do 100 and try to make them better than what they really are. Or we can just let the 30s do what they're going to do. Let the 60s do what they're going to do and keep planting until you find more 100s. And the only way that you find more 100s is by going through all of that stuff, right? You got to go through all of those experiences if you want to find the 100s. So summarize this. We know 1 out of 10 are actually going to do this. And we know that we're not going to have to convince those 1 out of 10. Wouldn't it make sense to spend the majority of our time recruiting? Spending the most time in your business giving people the opportunity to do this. Lindsay Matway never has to work another day in her life, ever, if she didn't want to. She spends 50% of her time recruiting, and she has 70,000 coaches in her downline. If you're a brand new coach and you have 2 coaches in your downline, it means you need to spend 100% of your time recruiting. If you're in Deidre's position, chances are she's spending 75, 80% of her time recruiting new people into this business. Your follow-ups, your invites, you're creating great content on social media, empowering your challengers to become coaches, putting this in front of people. Tommy Migrant taught me something a couple months ago that changed everything. He said, Brad, would you rather run with 3 or carry 100 on your back? What would you rather do? Think about it. Spend 80% of your time recruiting new blood into your business, and that will duplicate because your coaches will see you do it. Think about it like a business career fair at a college, right? Why do all those companies always come every year to the college, the universities? Why do they always recruit seniors? Because in their company, people quit, people get transferred, people go to different jobs, people just don't stay around. And they have to go through all of those people and keep recruiting until they find that rare person that rises to that executive level of leadership. That's why they keep recruiting. So if they're recruiting, you're recruiting. So that's the piece on constant recruitment. And I want to close by talking about some excuses. And this is the part of the conversation where we're really going to find who wants to change more than they want to stay the same. And that was me 9 months ago, 8 months ago. I wanted to change more than I wanted to stay the same. First, before I go into that, everyone grows at different rates. Don't spend your time comparing yourself to how other people are doing. Like I said earlier, don't compare your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. I'm going to give myself as an example. Deidre and I started right around the same time. And she is a much larger organization than I do. Bonnie Engel and Brittany Leggett, friends of mine. Brittany started a month before me and Bonnie started way after me. Their businesses are much bigger than mine. Does that mean that I'm stopping because they passed me up? No. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Comparison is the thief of joy. It takes the fun out of what we do. It takes the passion out of what we do. You can never compare your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. Some people sign up and they turn diamond in 2 weeks. Some people sign up and they turn diamond in 2 months. Some people, it takes them 2 years before things just click. And that's okay. Look at Leslie Cordes, superstar diamond coach, multiple 6-figure earner, soon to be millionaire club. It took her 6 months to hit emerald. It took her another year to hit diamond. And it took her another 6 months after that to get to star diamond rank. 2 years before things really clicked. And now she changes thousands of lives every day. Rank does not equal leader. Influence equals leader. You all, every single person on this call, how many of you guys are there? All 31 of you have the ability to inspire and motivate someone to improve their life from yesterday. And that has absolutely nothing to do with that rank attached to your Team Beachbody online office. And if it did, why the hell would I be on this call? Why would I be guest speaking for someone who's a 12-star diamond coach if I have 3, 4? Does that mean that I can't inspire, make an impact because I'm not the same rank? No, it doesn't mean that for you either. And I remember that feeling of being a brand new coach and you almost feel like you're drinking out of a fire hose with all this information coming at you from all different angles, and you're trying to balance a family life and fun, a full-time or overtime job, and it's scary to take the lead. But I can promise you right now that if you take the lead of your life, starting right now, you will be so thankful that you did. So I want to go into just a couple excuses that hold some people back before I finish here. And ask yourself these questions if this is you. Deidre, am I still good on time? Am I good? Can I keep going? Okay. How many of you guys have ever been afraid of what people might think of you? And that's why you've kind of held back from doing something. Okay. I have 2, guys. That's not a bad thing. It's normal. But I want to break that excuse in half right now. When you focus on what other people think of you, you take the focus off of helping others and you put it completely onto yourself. You're not doing your job as a Beachbody coach by thinking what other people are thinking about you. That's not thinking about them. That's fueling your ego. And the hard part to accept here is that people aren't thinking about you. That's so hard to grasp, especially as a new coach. And it's almost insulting that I say that, right? But think about it. When you saw your coach share their story and their vulnerability, and they were putting themselves out there, you weren't thinking about, great, that's awesome that that's their story. You were thinking, how does that story relate to me? What if that happened? What if I make that change in my life? We're naturally selfish beings, right? They're thinking about themselves. So you need to understand that going into it, they're not thinking about you. And when you share your vulnerability and your passion, they're thinking about themselves, okay? So don't be afraid of that anymore. It's very common. Don't worry if you have, but I think that will help. Next is, we already talked about this one, being afraid to fail. But Josh Spencer at the Men's Leadership Retreat in Dallas this past spring, he was standing on stage and he literally, I'm pretty sure he was looking at me in the eye. And he goes, your success will be dependent on your willingness to accept, welcome, and learn from constant failure. You need to accept that right now if you're going to be successful at this. I don't want to expand on that because we talked about it earlier. Or maybe you've been afraid because you don't know enough people. You're like worried your market might run dry. If anyone is guilty of that, I never went through that one, but I know a lot of people do. But I want you to think about this. You don't know who needs us. You don't know about that woman sitting on the park bench or that dude on the train. You don't know their history. You don't know their pain. You don't know if they have high blood pressure or high cholesterol. You don't know if they're broke and struggling to pay their mortgage. Think about how these products and this business have influenced your life. Ask yourself that question. How have these influenced my life? Now ask yourself the question, do you think there are other people out there that are struggling with the same thing you did before you started a product or this business? Now, imagine that Uncle Carl called you up and said, hey, sorry, no more coaching, no more 21-day fix, no more Shakeology, no more Body Beast, none of it. It's gone, taken away, no more, you're done. You're not a coach anymore. How would you feel? Actually ask yourself that question. How would you feel if this business was just gone? What does that tell you? It means we don't have the right not to share something this amazing with other people. If we love it this much, why wouldn't we talk about it? If we know what this is going to do for our lives, why wouldn't we put this in front of friends? It's changed your life so much. And you don't know who needs you. So all of a sudden, that prospect list, going back to the main point of this excuse, that prospect list of 200 Facebook friends that you might have just turned into 200 million people that are overweight or obese. And that doesn't even include the 98% of people out there that are struggling financially. We don't have the right to not share this with people. Every single person in your world is a prospect if you have the courage to share your story. Every person. There is not one person. Everyone needs what we have. So go put it in front of them. And last one is, how many of you guys have ever been afraid to attack this business because you don't know how you're going to balance it with a full-time or overtime job? I might go like 3 minutes over if that's cool. Just so you know. But how many of you guys have ever been afraid of that? Full-time or overtime job, how am I going to do it? Anyone? Yeah, me too. I was that way too. And if that's the excuse you've been making, I just want to share a story. I remember being absolutely terrified that I wasn't going to be able to grow this business because I was working so many hours at my full-time job. And I want to call out right now that it is the most illegitimate excuse out there. If you want something you've never had, you are going to have to do something you've never done and make sacrifices to make that happen, and just kind of, man or woman up a little bit. For the first 9 months of coaching, I was working 16-hour days, 6 days a week, 5 or 6 days a week at my full-time job with a long-distance girlfriend, and around $40 in my checking account at all times, and I was terrified. I know what it's like to work long hours and make those excuses. You can't tell me for 1 second that you don't have time. You do have time. You have limited time, but successful coaches make time. They see the long-term possibility, and they make the short-term sacrifices to make that happen. A common excuse I hear from people on my team is, I'm going to wait to finish this project at work, or I'm going to wait to, until Johnny's done with soccer practice, and then I'm going to dive in more, or when I'm done renovating the home. That's when I'm going to dive in more. Just to be blunt, guys, there will never be a right time to change the course of your life. Something else will always come up, and I can guarantee you that. There will never be a right time, but that same time that you spend waiting is going to pass anyway. So you have a choice. Are you going to keep using it as a great reason why you can't be successful and keep telling yourself that story? Or are you going to do what successful people do and see this as an obstacle that you're just going to get through because your purpose is deep enough? So taking action on that becomes second nature. You have to sacrifice if you want this to work. You're adding something onto your life so you can take things away from your life. There is no difference whatsoever in the abilities of myself, your coach, Melanie, Lindsay, anyone. There is no difference. And if there was a difference not in the abilities, it would be in our behavior. These top coaches decide to act. They decide to make it happen, step out of the comfort zone, and use this momentum that you feel right now to exponentially grow your business. I don't care if you're a coach that signed up 3 years ago or 2 minutes ago. I don't care if you're an elite coach, a 12-star diamond coach, or a brand new coach that doesn't even have a single person on their team yet. You all have a story you can share. You all have the ability to influence and change someone's life and improve from how it was yesterday, and you just need to care about people and commit to it. And if you're that type of person that's going to try to learn everything first without going out there and applying, and be honest with yourself right now, if that's you, you are cheating yourself. You're giving up on yourself. You're lying to yourself by saying that, and you're not going to be able to grow this business nearly as efficiently with that mindset. Because when opportunity is knocking on your door, it is way too late to prepare, and it's not going to be convenient. You need to jump in and trust that the net is going to appear. Make something happen. Success in this business will never just come to you. You need to go full throttle at this if you want it to grow. And some people on this call, probably 15 of the 30, are going to go all in. And they're going to feel this and be like, all right, I'm going to go. But the truth is that probably half of you guys won't. And so when you're making that decision, and whether to put on the brakes or speed up, when you're making the decision to slow down and not answer one question, what would it feel like if in 1 year from now your life was completely and totally different in such a positive way? What if your why came true? Would you be willing to have faith in the unknown with purpose at your back and belief that it's going to happen? Success in this business is not a matter of your circumstance. It's not a matter of what you have going on this month. It is literally a choice. We all have crap in our lives. It's not your crap that matters. It's how you use your crap to impact the world. You are enough right now to make that happen. So choose to do it. If you haven't hit any Success Club points, I saw an awesome banner at the beginning of this call. If you haven't hit any Success Club points in October yet, decide that you will. Decide right now that you're going to use this momentum. And this is the last thing I'll say. Decide that you're going to be successful. Attack it with faith and believe it's possible before it happens. Attack it with enthusiasm. Get excited about how your life's going to change and do what it takes, the action, every single day to get there. Don't just listen to what you're taught. Apply it for 1 year. Don't quit before your miracle happens. Don't fall back. Don't say you can't. You are enough right now. And when someone said that as a new coach, I was kind of iffy on being here a year from now. Just trust me. If you give this everything for a year, your life will be completely different. So opportunity is knocking on your door. It's not going to be convenient. It's way too late to prepare, and it's not going to be wrapped in something shiny. What are you going to do about it? So you can decide to push through that fear and not make excuses, or you can make those excuses and stop. And just think about this last question for you. You need to make a promise to yourself right now. Make a promise to yourself as you leave this call that instead of shrinking your dreams to the size of your income, go out there every single day and build your income to the size of your dreams. I believe in you guys. I know it's possible. And I know you can do it. So, Deidre, back to you.
Holy crap. All right, so what? Okay, my kids should be in bed. Again, they do this every Thursday at 8:30. I just want you to know that, Brad. Every Thursday at 8:30. And he tooted. Great. Awesome. So, that was seriously so amazing. And let me tell you, the next couple days of my workout pictures where I have quotes are coming from you. I just want to let you know that. Like that was so inspiring, and I have 3 pages of notes. Guys, okay, 4-star is awesome. Like that is a really great achievement. But if he would not have said that, would you have not thought he was a $1 million earner, 15-star diamond? Would you have not thought that? He is putting himself out there like that, and that's why he will become that, because he is putting himself out there. He is giving it his all, and he is not giving up. That was I'm so excited. I'm going to be tagging all my coaches in the recording. Does anybody have any questions or anything they want to say? We have a quiet bunch tonight. No? Okay. So just a couple things that I wanted to go over, and I feel like sometimes I say the things that you do, but it comes off differently. And I think hearing it from you was some of the things, how you said it was so much better than what I ever could have said. But honestly, like spending the time recruiting, when you said that I probably devote 70% of my time to recruiting, yes, I am. When like today, I posted in my group, for the next 7 days, we're going to be doing a coaching opportunity post every single day. And a lot of people are like, 1 a day? Like, that's a lot. I'm going to annoy people. I'm going to bother people. But honestly, no, you have to spend your time recruiting, because that 1 to 10 ratio, if you're only adding 10 people, you're only getting 1 rock star. And it's going to take you a lot longer to be successful if that is all you're putting into it. So yes, it is recruiting, and it is a numbers game. And I can definitely find my top coaches who are helping me with my business. And yes, that is how it goes, but that's a pretty darn good thing, because there's a point in time where, would you please stop getting out? Hold on. Sorry. Stop. They're knocking over all my papers. Go outside if you're going to cry. Go. There's going to be a point in time where you don't want to have to constantly sell challenge packs all the time. You want to focus on your team, and you want to help them grow their business. So if you want to go on a vacation for a week, you don't have to worry about not making income, because you still have that residual income from building a successful team and helping them. Is there anything anyone wants to share that stuck out to them from the call? Do you still do one-on-one calls with people who aren't really using the systems?
I will get them started, but if it's very apparent that they're not doing what's recommended and they don't really want this, then no. If they, you'll find that Jim Rohn talks about this a lot. Work with people that deserve your time, not that need your time. That's huge. A lot of times people will just try to suck you dry, trying to get all of your time. You have to protect your time. You have to. It's critical. So if people are really working this, and if I can tell that they're really trying and they're not seeing success and they're going for it, yeah, I'll help. I spend my time helping them, because clearly they want this to work. But if they are making excuses, or if this is a big one, a lot of times people will say, I know I need to do this, or they'll say, this is what I'm going to do, and then their action doesn't show for it. Guys, saying the words, I know I need to, in that coach's mind, if you're working with a coach that says that, that's someone putting an end to it. It almost makes it done because they said, I know. That makes it like concrete and finished. Don't accept that. Saying I know is basically a scapegoat for, I don't necessarily need to do this because I'm afraid. I'm going to sign up to do it until it gets hard. So to answer your question, only if they're going for it. But I only work with people that deserve my time, not who need it. And then anyone who needs it, I work with in group, and I'll give them all the opportunity to learn from something at the same time. And then slowly people will start to emerge, and I'll start working with them. So hope that answered it.
That was awesome. And a lot of people feel like they have to give a lot of time to everyone. And a lot of people think, I don't know how to manage this because I have, this many coaches and I have to give everyone this amount of time. And that's not how it works. You do spend more time with your coaches who want it and who are showing you they want it. And just for instance, Kelly Doherty, she's on the call. I'm totally calling you out. She messages me, and every time she messages me, she's like, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I'm wasting your time, or I'm taking your time. Like, hello, no, you are one of my top coaches and you are working your ass off. Yes, I'm giving you as much time as you want because you're showing me that you want it and you're doing it. And I'm giving that to you because you deserve it. That's exactly how it goes. Sorry, Kelly. I mean, it's a good thing. Go, Kelly. She's pretty awesome. Yeah, she's been in the business, since March, April. She's working on Elite this year. Like, hello. Yeah. I know, I totally just said it out loud. So sorry. I mean, she's amazeballs.
That's awesome. Can I have her? Kelly, can you quit and come back?
I've already given her away. I gave her away when she was a discount coach. And then that month she's like, I'm going to work the business. I'm like,
If you guys want to quit your team and come join me, I'm cool with it. No, I'm just
No, it's awesome. We work very well as a team, and it's a lot of fun. We have a nice family here.
You guys are awesome.
Anything else, guys? Any other questions or anything you want to add before we let him go? Finish his wine if he didn't finish it yet. Oh, there it is. All right, guys.
I want to say something.
Yes, go ahead, Erica.
So today, my very best friend Jackie joined, and she's on here. She signed up at 5 p.m. today to be a coach, and she is on the call tonight.
That is awesome.
That's awesome.
Congratulations and welcome.
That's awesome.
That's a rock star in the making. Jackie, was this pretty awesome for you?
This was great. It was a great opportunity. I'm really happy I signed up today so I could join the call tonight. I'm really excited, and I can't thank Erica enough for doing this and helping me along with this. So I'm really, really excited.
Oh, yay. See, I love this. Guys, like, none of us would know each other I would know my mom. She's on. None of us would know each other if it wasn't for this. Like, none of us would be here talking together. So it's a great opportunity. Let's share it. Let's recruit and keep doing it. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Pretty awesome. You guys are a happy family. I like you guys. You're awesome. You're fun.
All right, guys. I'm going to let you guys go. Brad, thank you so, so much. That was absolutely amazing. Do you want me to give you the link to this recording?
Yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to share it with my team.
Okay, awesome. All right, guys. Thank you so